Hey everyone, my name is Laura and welcome to Book Bubbler. I'm going to try and make this quick today. My mom is on her way over here right now. I'm taking her to the doctor's office and you might see her sneak in over there. So I'm going to try and get this done. So hopefully she doesn't come in and say something inappropriate right away. Okay, so Song of the Week this week is One Right Now by The Weeknd and Post Malone. Not sure what they're saying or what the song's about. I don't really care. I just like it. So there you go. Enjoy that. I'll try and remember to link my Spotify playlist for that. This week I've managed to finish 5 books, which is impressive for me this year because it's been slim pickings and lots of dry spells. So jumping right in, we've got Misfits, A Personal Manifesto by Michaela Coel. Michaela Coel is the author, writer, director, producer of Chewing Gum and I May Destroy You. I've seen Chewing Gum and really liked it a lot. I have not seen I May Destroy You yet, but this was essentially a little, like a couple of essays before, like a little diary entry sort of before, and then her, is it Edinburgh Festival? I forget which festival it was, but she gave this hour-long speech about Misfits. So then it's just before, it's the speech itself, and then a little bit afterwards too, what that was like for her, what her life was like, how it changed. And I liked this. It was interesting. I think she had a lot of good points. I agree with pretty much everything she says, I think, and it's not necessarily reinventing the wheel. It doesn't have to, but it did. I don't know. Not sure where I thought was going with that. So we're just going to move on. But I did like it. It was very easy reading. It's a small hardcover. It's just over 100 pages. And one thing I didn't like about it, and it probably was just to make it a little bit longer, but sometimes the left-hand side of the page, sorry, here you go, left-hand side of the page for you guys, would have like an italicized, blurb of something that was on the following page to like highlight the importance of a sentence or two or whatever it would be. But that was, it seemed fairly random what was decided to pull. I'm sure it wasn't, but it seemed like, why did you pull this? And also it was not centered on the page, and it was not obviously intentionally like in a corner or, going diagonally or something like that. It just seemed like a mistake. Spacing wise for that. And again, I didn't understand why all those quotes were pulled. It was an odd amount of quotes. I really don't understand that part, but it doesn't take away from the message or anything. I'm giving this like 3.25, 3.5 stars, but leaving it at a 3 for Goodreads. I did enjoy it. I think if you were interested in it, if it's piquing your interest, or if you like Michaela Coel's work, it's worth checking out for sure. And then on ebook, I finished Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore, Evie Dunmore. Whew. It's the third in the Extraordinary League of Women series. I have not read number 2 yet, but I have read number 1. So it feels a little weird to read things out of order. That's not my jam. That's not how I roll normally, but it came up first in my library hold. So there we go. This one follows, oh my gosh, what's her name? Hattie Greenfield. She's the daughter of a very wealthy man and an artist, of course, along with being a suffragist. And she thinks she's going to view some of this sort of mysterious rich guy's art collection. And the guy, there's a misunderstanding. The guy thinks that she is a prostitute. She is not. So they share a kiss, and she keeps reminding herself to forget about it, but she can't. And same for him. He finds out who she really is, and he's like, oh, she's a, prissy girl. She doesn't know anything. I have to forget about it. But they both keep thinking about it. And then he has an open house, essentially, and has like a party come to tour his house and his whole collection, like intentionally then. And she is there with her mother and a bunch of other snooty McSnoots from the town. And he sort of catches her a little bit. He wants to kiss her again. And she leans in to kiss him. And what she doesn't know is what she thinks are mirrors are really two-way glass, which is a new thing. And everyone in the party sees. So they're forced to get married. This really isn't a spoiler. This happens in the first quarter of the book. So if you're going to read this book, they are forced to get married. She's distraught about this, and one thing I didn't like about this book was the number of misunderstandings, and then like the dramatic responses that happen from the misunderstandings. Like, if you would just ask directly outright what happened, or say, hey, I really feel this about this to your spouse, and this goes for him and for her, more for her, she's more dramatic than he is, this would all be resolved. And I get you have to have tension, and I get that she has to move the plot along, and it sort of makes sense for the story. I understand all of that. That doesn't mean it wasn't any less annoying to read consistently. Like, girl, come on. Just ask your husband a direct question. All this inferral thing, thinking that he's got his mistress over it, thinking this stick. No. It's like, oh my God. A couple times I did sigh and say, oh my God, like out loud when I was reading in bed at night. Like, come on. So, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked both of their characters. I think the growth they made sense for them. A little late for my liking, but again, that's the author's choice. I liked the part in Scotland when they go to Scotland and he's trying to figure out these mines that he has purchased from, is it Lord Rutland, Duke? I'm not sure what Rutland is, but he's a snooty McSnoot and he's an a-hole and doesn't care about anything. He's just a money-grubbing jerk. My mom is here. So, she is. So, hi kids. Mom, I'm filming something. I'm filming something. Oh. I'm almost done. It's okay. Oh, so, yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was okay. I liked the part, like I said, with the mines and everything, and with Hattie, what she tries to do for the people to improve their life. 3 stars. I mean, I'll read the second one, absolutely, and if there will be a fourth, I don't know, but I'll read that too, but I'm not in any massive rush. Then, moving along here, I have Judging a Book by Its Lover by Lauren Leto, a field guide to the hearts and minds of readers everywhere. This was published in 2012, and it feels like a 2012 book. I'm only giving this 2 stars. It's really 1.5, but 2 stars. It's dated, and a lot of the jokes and things about literary people like Jonathan Franzen and Jonathan Safran Foer and Nicole Krauss, his now ex-wife, and Bukowski and all the stuff. It seems very dated. It's set into little chapters, essays, if you will, about all different things, about how to tell what kind of person people say they are, what people are really like based on their favorite authors, how to fake having read classics. What else is in here? How to fake it. What your child grew up to be if you give them certain children's books, how they're going to be, how to write like any author, stuff like that. I don't know, I would have found it a lot more funny, I think, if I would have read it closer to publication, but yeah, I didn't really care for this one. I do see that some people, some friends of mine, really, really liked this, but they read it within the first year that it was out, so I just think it didn't hold up, so I'll be getting rid of this one. And then for the Double Book to Co Book Club, I finished This Tenderland by William Kent Krueger. This is my first by him. I don't think it will be my last, and I really liked this one. I'm giving it 4.5 stars. And it's sort of the Odyssey meets Huckleberry Finn, or Mark Twain in general, I think. If you're familiar with the Midwest, if you live in the Midwest, you'll find the setting very familiar. It's about a group of kids. 2 or 3, I believe, are white kids at an Indian school in Minnesota in the 1930s. And it's a terrible place. There's abuse, killings. It's awful. And a bunch of stuff happens, and they decide to all run away together. They take a canoe and they leave. So it's their adventure trying to get to St. Louis to meet up with the 2 brothers who are the main characters, to meet up with their aunt that they haven't seen in a long time. And she lives in St. Louis. So they're trying to get there in this canoe, and there's a tent revival, and there is a mysterious Native American man who keeps finding them, and there's Hoovervilles, and it's a pretty epic journey. I really liked it. It's very easy reading. I don't I want to say a lot more than this, but I did really, really like this. So 4.5 stars and recommend. And for a book like this that's popular, that has such good ratings, I didn't think I would like it because normally I don't. And I really liked this one, so that was a nice surprise. And the last one is The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. This is contemporary romance. It seems to be based sort of on a Chip and Joanna Gaines a little bit. I mean, not entirely, but it's that kind of a thing. So it's told in alternating chapters between Carrie and James. Carrie started working for this husband and wife team in Wyoming when she was 16. She has a movement disorder. She has dystonia. It affects her hands. And she started working at their shop, and she designs a lot of their stuff. And they got really, really big really fast. And they have a book about marriage coming out now, this married couple, and they have a TV show on Netflix that's starting soon. So Carrie is constantly running around. It's been half her life, I think, or more, 10 years, working for this family, and they take advantage of her more and more. She's abused more and more, but she doesn't see it at first. And then the other alternating chapter we get is James, and he is hired to be what he thinks is the lead engineer on this new show, but really ends up being the assistant of the husband. And they clash heads a lot at first, and of course they slowly fall for each other. This takes place mostly over a bus tour of like through the West Coast for their new book, and then the show and everything. How the marriage is falling apart, how these two are falling in love. It's also told a little bit in police interview transcripts over an incident that you don't know what happens till, of course, the very end. So it's a fun read, very easy. 3 stars. I like their other stuff a little bit more, but I still really enjoyed this. If you are a completist for their work, for sure, pick it up. But I wouldn't say to start here, though it is indicative of their writing and everything. It's steamy, but it's not as steamy as a lot of their other stuff is too. So, 6 of 1. So, okay, that's it for me this week. I will be participating in Dewey's Readathon tomorrow. It starts at 7 a.m. my time. I will try to remember to link to the Readathon website. I'll hopefully be over on Litsy for the bulk of it, a little bit on Instagram, and I'm planning on vlogging as well. So get ready to see me in my pajamas most of the day. So, okay, hope you guys had a good week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.